I constantly see all of these trends and things people do that push them to do something really consistently for a short amount of time. Things like winter arc or New Year's resolutions, which is why I thought I would make this video since the new year is coming up. We even sometimes do this with fun things as well. The 2-week Minecraft phase being a great example of that. Personally, I still do New Year's resolutions, but the more I see of these concepts, the less I like them. Like in the case of a winter arc or New Year's resolutions, if you're trying to build good habits, wouldn't you just want to do them for the rest of your life? Why build up all of that good momentum and then stop after a few months or even a year if you make it that far? Exactly. If you make it that far. The reason these concepts are intriguing is because they're motivating. And in the case of trends like Winter Arc, you see all of the other people you know on social media doing it as well, which is even more motivating. But to continue doing those good things for longer requires more than just motivation. It requires discipline and making them habits, which is hard and it doesn't really get easier. People who have made things like exercising, eating well, or reading into consistent habits talk about struggling to keep it going all the time. I think that's another reason things like Winter Arc are so intriguing. They seem so much more entry level and much less intimidating than committing to doing something for years or even decades. But a lot of people do want to reach that point, they just don't know if they can. And I think that's actually the right way to use these. You do Winter Arc and instead of slowing down and kind of going back to your normal life, you say, okay, that wasn't that bad. Maybe I should keep going. So maybe you make it a New Year's resolution and keep doing it for the next year. And then by the end of that year, it's probably just a habit. You should think of these things as launch pads for your goals and habits in your life, not just a one and done 3-month challenge. But why did I bring up the video game example as well? What does the 2-week Minecraft phase or binge watching your favorite show have to do with this? I think there's some similar things to consider as far as our rest and fun things go as well. If you play Minecraft for long hours every day for 2 weeks and then stop, assuming you're an average player, you'll likely make a few good builds, get full diamond gear, and maybe even beat the bosses. But you probably won't go much beyond that. You probably won't make any really big and super memorable builds. And I think that depth into the game and really anything in life is where the majority of the enjoyment is. It's so much more fulfilling to play for months and make something really unique and maybe even tell your friends about it. Maybe it's not Minecraft, maybe you beat a different game on the hardest difficulty, and in terms of real life, maybe you ran a marathon or competed in a powerlifting competition. All of these things feel much better than just playing a game or going to the gym for a couple weeks. But to get to that depth, I think it's very important to pace yourself. Some people can do things for hours on end every day for months and not get burnt out, but most people can't. And that's okay, you just have to learn where those limits are for you and pace yourself. Here's an example to show how big of a difference this can make. Person 1 spends 10 days doing something 6 hours a day and then stops. Person 2 only spends 2 hours a day but doesn't stop. It will take them a month to catch up to person 1, but since they keep going, after another month they will have done twice as much. This is pretty much the age-old story of the tortoise and the hare. Slow and steady wins the race. And I mentioned binge watching shows as well. Maybe just watch 1 or 2 episodes and don't lose any sleep. You'll get more rest that way and think more about each episode. It might even inspire you creatively that way as well. And the alternative would just be watching it all in one night and just forgetting about most of it and struggling to wake up the next morning. And the last thing I wanted to bring up, going back to New Year's resolutions and things like that, is to not wait for an opportunity like Winter Arc or New Year's resolutions. If you come up with a goal, just write it down, make a plan, and get started on it right away. It's a lot better to get started and begin making progress right away than to wait for a good or trendy time to do it. And if you still want to do something like New Year's resolutions, you can take those goals and reevaluate them at the start of the new year and update your plan accordingly. But I think that's all I have for this one. If you guys are in your winter arc or planning on making some New Year's resolutions soon, I hope this video inspired you to stick to it and to use it as a launch pad to build a new good habit for the rest of your life. And I hope you guys have an awesome and productive rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video.